Welcome to Saving the Investor. I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's certified financial planner professional. And protecting and growing your nest egg is my business. Safeguarding your financial future requires careful navigation through a sea of challenges. Stay tuned for insights that will empower you to make informed decisions and protect your retirement savings. Let's navigate these uncertain times together right here on Saving the Investor. Coming up on today's show,
leveraging structured notes, 3 challenges unique to women, powerful pro tools for your portfolio, and much more.
Welcome to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner, investment advisor, and insurance professional Alfie Townsend, president of Advantage Retirement Group. Alfie is a published author, radio show host, speaker, and industry leader.
why do you use an annuity? A lot of people use it for the wrong thing.
He works with retirees and pre-retirees to build and protect their nest egg and offers his experience to help those concerned about financial independence in retirement. If you've got questions about retirement, Saving the Investor starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to Saving the Investor. My name is Craig Wolf and I'm glad you're with us here on this Sunday morning. I'm alongside certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. Alfie, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start the show off this morning by talking about income planning using alternative investments.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off that way.
Well, one of the main ones that we use, so people that come in and they say, you know what, I'm willing to take a little bit of risk, but I need to make more than 3%, 4%. So one of the things that we use is called a structured note. We have hundreds of people in these structured notes, and matter of fact, I'm in it also. And a structured note sits with a financial institution, okay, and what we do is we shop them. That's a good thing, and we take the middleman out. So that's why we can get the interest that we get.
It's an investment.
It's an
tool,
investment.
basically?
It's an investment that sits with a financial institution, and then we shop them, like I said, and then what they do is they buy options of the S&P and NASDAQ. You can make these as risky as you want or as safe as you want. We have, I would say ours is pretty darn safe because we have a buffer on there of 30%. Now, what does that mean, 30%? That means you get in today, these are 21-month notes. These are 21 months long, and then that means that's when it comes due, okay? We also put in there that the financial institution is not allowed to call the note. That means they can't give you your money back for a certain time period. So if we didn't put that down there, we could get you more interest, but then they would probably call the note in 2 or 3 months. That doesn't make sense. So what we do is we want this income coming in for 1 year guaranteed. Okay, so it has a no call for 1 year. If they don't call the note, that means it will last until 21 months, and then the note automatically gets called. But every one that we've written, all of them has been called in 12 months.
Is there a particular type of investor or a particular type of your client for which a structured note would be best?
Yep, we have conservative investors that come, and we have people that are seasoned veteran investors, and they just like the fact that this money gets deposited in their checking account each and every month. And typically they're going to pay between 7 and 10%. The more volatile the market, the higher the interest rate is, but whatever interest rate that we are giving you that day is what you're going to have for that term. So it does change daily. It changes daily for the new people coming in, but whatever they get in is locked in. So if it's 8%, that's what you're going to get, and this money is going to be taxable. The only way if it's not taxable is that you want to put it in your IRA and you don't need the income, so you're just rolling it back into your IRA. It's not taxable at that point. But you could put IRA money in here. You can put money from savings. It could be after-tax dollars or before-tax dollars. You can put that in there. But to get that 7, 8, 9% income is pretty darn good, and it gets deposited right in your check account each and every month. The only way that it doesn't really start to pay, if it would skip a payment, and we knock on wood, we haven't had any situations like this, but if the S&P or NASDAQ from when you got in were to drop below 30%, that's a pretty big drop. If it dropped 30%, you're good. If it dropped 31%, they would skip a payment. until they got back in the S&P or NASDAQ within that 30% or less. So, the worst we've had was like a 17%. But none of them have ever missed a payment as of, today.
Right. Well, structured note might not be in every investor's vocabulary, so it's good to learn about it this morning.
It might not be, but what I would do is give us a call and take a look at it. Let us explain it, show you all the good and bad. One thing about us at the Advanced Retirement Group, we're going to show you everything. There's not going to be anything that we're going to hold back. We're going to show you, hey, this is what you can make and this is what you could lose. But overall, what you make on this and the protection it has, a lot of people are loving it.
All right. Good way to start the show this morning, structured notes. As Alfie mentioned, if you have questions about structured notes, give us a call here at the Advantage Retirement Group. We are just getting started on this Sunday morning. We're glad you're with us. Stick around, much more to come.
Do you want to live your best retirement? Well, of course you do. The more relevant question is, are you really prepared to do that? Well, Certified Financial Planner Professional Alfie Townsend's latest book, Making Waves in Retirement, breaks down the insights that he's gained in his 4 decades helping people just like you plan for retirement. It features real stories about real people, illustrating what they've done wrong and what they've done right. Inside, you'll find strategies to help retirees and those soon to be retired make the right decisions and avoid costly mistakes. Whether it's battling inflation, navigating market volatility, or managing the threat of recession, these strategies may help you too. In fact, this book is essential for anyone who wants to retire with confidence, and you can have a free copy right now. Just be one of the first 9 people to text the word book to 239-747-1080. Don't wait to get this incredible resource. Take control of your retirement today. Text the word book to 239-747-1080 and get your free copy of Alfie's book, Making Waves in Retirement.
One thing about being in the financial business for over 40 years, we get a lot of questions all the time, and especially us because we have a TV and radio show. So we're going to take some of these questions that are asked frequently. That means that you are wanting to know the answers and you're going to get them today.
How do you help your clients determine what their risk tolerance is while maximizing their investments at the same time?
So we use a program that is amazing. It was put together by a team of psychologists. And the great thing about it is not picking a number between 1 and 10. We've talked about that in the past where we have a client in particular, and he happens to be a doctor, and he came from a large firm. And I said, how did they find out what your risk number is? He said, they told me pick a number between 1 and 10. I said, what was your number? He said, my number was 7. And I asked him and his wife, what does that mean? And they looked at each other like little kids, started giggling. They had no idea what it means. So what this program that we use to find out what your risk number is it goes through a series of questions, and it has you picking between A and B, and it makes you, there's emotion play in there, and which is good. It wants you to really think about it, and it's, again, put together by a team of psychologists. So it comes out with a number at the end. And when that comes out with a number, that means that if you're number 62, that means that your $1 million, you're okay if it dropped $150,000, but you're also okay if it goes up $250,000. So your number actually means something. So that's what we use to determine what your risk factor is.
I'm concerned my portfolio isn't diversified enough. Could you recommend some ways to diversify, Alfie?
So diversification is one of the most important things when it comes to a sound retirement plan. Where's your income going to come from? If the market goes down, are you going to have to sell things that are at a loss to give you that income? So income planning, diversification sort of falls in play with both of them. So you want to have large companies, mid-sized companies, small companies. You want to have international. Right now, we are not really putting a lot of money in international. That's what's nice about having a custom portfolio. We're not a cookie cutter for if you come in, you're going to have a different one than maybe your friend has with us because everybody's custom. Okay, but one thing you will have in common, we will not have a lot of international, if any international funds at this time, because our managers tell us that international right now, you're going to be paying a premium, a cost for that to get the same type of return. So they feel it's better to have it in the U.S. because right now the U.S. economy is better than international economy. So you're going to get more for your money, but a diversification is owning different asset classes, and they will change it. It might be where you have communications, you might have technology, you might have energy, but they're going to be changed, and you're going to have different sectors that will give you that diversification.
Are you ready to take control of your retirement and create a sound financial future? The first step is simple. Be one of the first 7 callers right now and schedule your complimentary, no risk, no obligation retirement review with Alfie and his concierge team. When you visit Alfie's office, you'll sit down and discuss your unique goals and concerns. Alfie and his team don't just talk about financial planning, they craft personalized solutions. On your first visit, you can also expect expert analysis of your current situation, risk mitigation techniques, and tax-saving strategies. And that's just for starters. In the world of financial planning, experience matters. With more than 40 years of experience, Alfie understands the needs of those who are soon to be or already retired, from investment allocation to income planning, tax strategies, and estate planning. Your retirement success plan awaits simply by taking advantage of Alfie's complimentary, no risk, no obligation retirement review. Be one of the first 7 callers right now at 239-747-1080. That's 239-747-1080. Call now. Your future financial self will thank you.
Welcome to this week's segment of Women of Worth, where we tackle topics for women investors.
Yeah.
Alfie, let's talk about 3 different challenges that women face. The first one, of course, is we live longer. How do you address that when it comes to investing?
Well, that's a very, very important topic because people are living longer and women live longer than males. And that's just the way it is. And so when a husband and wife, come into our office, a lot of times I feel like the women want to say the husband takes care of everything. Now that's not all the time, but a lot of times that happens. And when that happens, I'll look at both of them and say, listen, you both have to be involved with this, because if we were all born the same day, you're going to outlive your husband and me by 7 years on an average. So we have to take that in consideration. So women, there's challenges there. If you live longer, is that money going to last long? So when we do an income plan, Mary, we have to look at, not just one of them passing, but if one passes, then we have to have this money last 7 more years on an average. So that is a challenge that women face.
On that note too, if someone is married and then their spouse passes away, now they're filing as an individual.
So that's a widow penalty, it's called.
Right. Talk about that.
Yeah. So that means that you don't get to file as joint anymore. So now you're filing as single. Yeah. So that's a big tax hit right there. Right. And then you're going to lose a Social Security. It might be yours or it might be your husband's. You're going to get the higher of the two. So you lose money there too. So you're taxed different. And then you're also going to lose income. It could be a pension. You could get part of your spouse's pension or none of it. So you need to know that. A lot of people that come and marry, they don't know what would happen if their spouse passes because they don't want to get involved with it. But this is the time to get involved. That's what we encourage our clients to understand. So if something happens, you're not like behind the 8 ball.
Right. Absolutely. So another topic of a unique challenge is a lot of times we have less time in the workforce because of raising children or caring for elderly parents. And that's definitely a challenge. How do you help
Yeah,
people
so
through that?
unfortunately, women are still getting paid less than a male for doing the same job. And the reason for it is that they're not in that profession as long. Because, like you said, they're having babies, they're staying at home, so they got out of the workforce, now they're getting back in it. So that's, parents.
Right.
It seems like, mom and dad are still living, it's the daughters that take care of their parents, not the sons.
Yeah.
And that, again, keeps them out of the workforce. So there's some challenges there also.
Absolutely. And then the last one, I think this is a real important one to talk about because we do have control over this. Oftentimes, it's statistically proven that women take less risk than men. So address that.
And that's true in some cases. I've had where, when we do our risk assessment, that definitely, usually the men are definitely more risk takers than their spouse. But sometimes it is reversed, but not too often. So you're right. So in order to get a return to fight inflation, you have to take a little bit of a risk. Now, what I always say is you want to take calculated risks, not unnecessary risks. So if you know that your portfolio can go down a certain percentage with 95% confident level, if you're okay with that, that's a good thing because that means it could go up when the market goes up more than what you expect because you took a little bit of a risk. As long as the risk is worth taking, it's a good thing.
Alfie, that is fantastic information. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies, it's worth your investment of time to meet with Alfie. He'll help get you to and through retirement.
It is not uncommon for people to worry about the future, asking questions like, will my family be taken care of? Or what if I can't make decisions for myself? Well, these are valid concerns, and estate planning is the answer. It's not just for the wealthy either. It's for anybody who wants to ensure that their wishes are honored and their loved ones are protected. A well thought out estate plan is a gift that can provide peace of mind and reduce stress for your family during a challenging time. It's about leaving a legacy of love and clarity, and not confusion or disputes. At the Advantage Retirement Group, we understand the importance of this gift, and that's why we've created a comprehensive white paper called The Greatest Gift: Estate Planning Essentials. This resource will guide you through the key components of estate planning, from wills and trusts to healthcare directives and tax implications, empowering you to make informed decisions for your family's future. If you're ready to give this invaluable gift to your loved ones, I encourage you to reach out today. Just call 239-747-1080, 239-747-1080, or you can visit our website, savingtheinvestor.com, to get your free copy of The Greatest Gift. Let us help you create a lasting legacy that reflects your love and your intentions. Don't wait. Take that first step today because your family deserves it.
Well, I think one of the best inventions out there was GPS. Now, when I first got in this business, it was 1983, and I would really drive and see people at their house during that time. So I had to use a lot of maps, and to tell you the truth, my wife, Tommy, would, map me from appointment to appointment. Because these maps were so complicated, you'd have to go from page 3, and then it would say go to connect on page 16. They were the hardest things. And so she would map all my appointments throughout the week. And when GPS came, I thought that was the best invention ever. So GPS was like, all I have to do is put the address in and it would take you right there. I thought I just died and went to heaven. Now, when it comes to a financial plan, you have to have a GPS in that financial plan. And what is that? A good plan is going to entail a lot of different elements in there. You have to deal with taxes. Taxes are going to be going up. So you want to make sure you have tax-free income on some of your money. And that could be a Roth, it could be a life insurance that you take money out as tax-free for loans. There's a lot of different things you can do for tax-free. The next thing you want to look for is income. Now, I always say income is the most important part of financial plan because if you can get substantial income and not worry about what the market's doing, that's fantastic. That is a great, when you have income coming in, then you can spend with confidence. Now, I'm going to say that again. When you have consistent income coming in, it's not tied to what the markets are doing. It's going to be confidence. Your confidence level is going to go through the roof, and that means you can spend with confidence, and that's the important part. And then you have to say, how am I going to fight inflation? Because inflation is going to be here, and it's, look at groceries and look at gas, everything is going up. So you have to fight inflation, and we do that really with portfolios, with equities, with stocks. And that is the best way to fight inflation, is having a portfolio that is heavy in stocks, and that money, you're not taking income from it. That money is to grow, either use it for down the road, or that could be your legacy play. So if you're not looking at all these different elements, and if you're not looking at Roth conversions, if your advisor is not talking about these types of investments where they're broken apart, then you might have outgrown your advisor. I've said that many times, where if they're not talking about taxes, they're not talking about legacy, they're not talking about future planning, you might have outgrown your advisor. And when you outgrown your advisor, you really know that, because they're not really keeping in touch with you. They're not telling you anything new. So if you want to have a second look to see if we can put you in a better position and what we would do here at the Advantage Retirement Group, give us a call and we would love to show you.
Are you worried about inflation and how it's affecting your retirement?
Well, you're not alone. According to a recent study, 73% of Americans rank their finances as their number one stress in life.
But don't worry, there's help available. Alfie's free retirement toolkit can help you transform your worries into confidence.
Inside this toolkit, you'll find valuable resources like a guide to creating a retirement income plan, tips for saving for retirement, and strategies for protecting your retirement savings from inflation.
Plus, you'll get a copy of Alfie's new book, Making Waves in Retirement.
This free toolkit provides valuable insights like ways to transform your worries of retirement into confidence, ways to discover the weak points in your retirement plan, ways even small changes to your retirement plan can make a big difference, and how big your tax bill could be in retirement.
To get Alfie's free retirement toolkit, simply text the word KIT to 239-747-1080. That's KIT to 239-747-1080.
Don't wait and act now. This offer is only available for a limited time. Text KIT to 239-747-1080 today and start building a worry-free retirement.
Welcome to another edition of Knowledge is Power. And the more knowledge you know, the better of an investor you're going to be. And here at the Advantage Retirement Group, David Antonucci, welcome. And we use a lot of different software, and we really look at different ones around the country. And there's a core that we use, and it's for purposes. It's for tax planning. It's for if it's income planning, estate planning. So we have this software. But what do you get out of it when someone comes in and you start showing them? They say quite a few things.
Well, it's true. We do a lot of due diligence on the programs and the type of tools that we present to our clients and prospects and such. And the thing that I hear a lot is, David, Alfie, why didn't my advisor show me this? Why didn't they bring this up? And it always has to do with, something like tax planning or income planning. Because look, everybody's talking about investments, which investments are very important, obviously. But, here at Advantage Retirement Group, we believe that income planning, tax strategies, et cetera.
You do the whole thing.
Yeah, it's just as important. You know, so one of the softwares that we use will analyze your past year tax return, and we'll plug it in, and it's very expensive software that we use that we're able to see a couple things. One, what your total income is. Look over, is a Roth conversion possibly right for you? And the question, about Roth conversions is, hey, is it right for you? I think it is, right? Because we all believe that taxes are most likely going to be going up in the future. But the $1 million question, Alfie, is how much? how much of a Roth conversion
and
can
how's it
we
going to
do?
affect my Social Security?
Yes.
How's it going to affect taxes?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So that's the thing about this program. We're able to really decipher how much of a Roth conversion makes sense without killing you in taxes. But also, there's this thing called IRMA, which is Medicare adjustments. That a lot of advisors overlook that. And that's something that can cost you a lot of money in Medicare premium adjustments. So this software helps us. A quick story. We had someone come in and we were looking at Roth conversions for them, and they were making, let's say $30,000 to $40,000 each year.
Not a lot of income.
Not a ton of income.
She was living off her savings too.
Yeah, living off the savings, and her tax bracket, after analyzing it, was about 12%. So I looked at her and I said, hey, I understand you love your advisor. I understand you have a strong relationship, but why hasn't your advisor been doing Roth conversions with you and paying?
She was young too.
Yeah,
right?
And for the past 10 years, she could have been taking advantage and really getting Roth conversions done, getting money into a tax-free bucket at a low 12% tax rate.
Yeah.
And Alfie, the thing about it is, some people just have outgrown their advisor.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the deal.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. We hear that all the time. Why didn't my advisor talk about this? Why didn't And a lot of times, you might have started with your advisor many, many years ago, and at that point, you didn't have a whole lot of money, but you have grown. This money has grown. You're putting money in. It's growing. The market makes it grow.
Right.
And they're not doing any tax planning with you. They're not really making adjustments inside your portfolio. And that might be a question to ask. Have I outgrown my advisor? We were just talking to an attorney not too long ago, and I said that, and he says, a lot of times they have outgrown their lawyer also, their attorney, because they're not keeping up with the tax laws. They're not looking at their wills and their trusts and everything. So, when it comes to estate planning, you have to look at everything and you have to be up to date on it. So if your advisor isn't doing that, you might want to give us a call and let us see if you're in the right thing at this time for your retirement.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of Saving the Investor. But creating a secure financial future for yourself and your loved ones is an ongoing journey. I know it's important to you, and that's why I'm asking you to call the number on your screen right now. If you're one of the first 7 people to reach us, you'll receive a complimentary consultation with Alfie, where he will use the insights he has gained in his 40-plus year career to review your financial plan. Today's world seems more uncertain and volatile than any time that I can remember, and your financial future is too important to leave to chance. Whether you're navigating market uncertainties, planning for retirement, or securing your family's legacy, now is the time to take action. Be one of the first 7 to call 239-747-1080 and schedule your complimentary consultation with Alfie. Take that first step now. You've got nothing to lose and quite possibly much to gain. Thanks for joining us today on Saving the Investor. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Mondo Uomo offers a remarkable selection of the latest styles in menswear. Visit Mondo Uomo at the Village on Venetian Bay in Naples, Alberto, Bugacci, St. Croix, Zanella. Come see what remarkable shopping is all about.